Please mute your audio, all of you. Right, let's start today's session. So in the last session, we were discuss about Django basic introduction and what is Django and based on which pattern it is going to be work, and using Django what kind of application we develop, and then small history of Django we were discussed. So as I said that Django is a framework, it's not a programming language. It's completely web application development framework it is. So that means using Django, we can develop web applications at faster rate. The application which will provide the services over the web is called web application. And Django framework completely written in Python language. So Django is a high level and open source Python based framework. So this is the official website of Django. If you want to know that versions and the installation download process, you can able to follow this link. And Django, while developing Django, we are going to follow the principle called DRY, do not repeat yourself. Instead of that, we can reuse that. And it will provide rapid application development facilities. Means using Django, we can develop web applications at faster rate because Django framework offers a lot of built-in libraries. The moment when we download and install Django framework, and you will get a lot of libraries. Using that libraries, we can develop web applications. And Django is completely based on MBT design pattern. Once we start development of Django web application, we are going to follow completely MBT pattern only. In MBT pattern, M stands for model. It always represents database. This is database access layer. V stands for view. It's completely Python logic. So it's a business access layer. T means template, that is user interface. So presentation layer it is. So presentation layer means it's completely UI technologies. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. So business access layer view logic means Python code you have to write. And database related code, if you want to write that, we can write into model section, that is database access layer. So Django is completely maintained by DSF, Django Software Foundation. And the original authors of Django is Adrian Holloway and Simon Willison. The official date of birth of Django is 21st July 2005. And Django also pronounced it as Django. And Django name was derived from a person name. He's the man who is famous George guitarist. So Django Reinhardt. Okay, this is the story which I discussed in the last session. In today's session, as I said that using Django framework, we can develop web application. So what is web application? As I said already, web application. The application which will provide services over the web is called what? Web application, I said. But in web application development, okay, every programmer must and should have the idea about these terms. What are the terms? Web page means what? Website means what? Web browser means what? Yes, these are the technical terms. You must and should aware of this because every time we are going to deal with this only. Web page, website, web browser, web server. So what is web page generally? Okay. So generally, if you want to access any website, so you can go to Google Chrome or any browser, then you just type URL address www.sbi.com or onlinesbi.com like that. Okay. So the moment when we hit the link, the first time we will be able to see this home page of the website. So that page is having the information regarding customers or end users. So that is known as web page, we can say that. Web page is nothing but information towards the end user. Information towards the end user is called web page. Information towards the end user is called what actually? Web page, we can say. Yes. So for example, if you want to apply any job, so you are going to visit that particular web page, website, and that is showing information to you, complete information related to end users or customers or clients. That is nothing but web page. But web pages are categorized into two parts. You know that. So one is static web page. Next one is dynamic web page. Static and dynamic web page. Two parts of the web page. Dynamic web page. Static as well as dynamic web page. So when we open any web page, whatever content you are going to see, that is completely readable format. That is non-interaction interaction format. Non-interaction means you can't interact with them. Suppose if you open any website, okay, so you are going to open any website like durgasoft.com website. You are going to open durgasoft.com website. You are opening, for example. So Durgasoft website, when we open for the first time, so about us, Durgasoft, I want to know first. So for example, durgasoft.com, and about Durgasoft, I want to read it. So about Durgasoft, if you want to read it, then what we need to do, just go to about us page. Look at this, there is a link is about us. Click on this about us. So this information is just only static. Means you are not going to be interact with this. You are not going to enter your details. You are not going to submit. You are not going to perform any actions. So this is normal page, static content. You just read it and leave from this web page. So this kind of web pages are called static. For example, do you want to register? Okay, so after going to home page, and you can able to check here, so who is the faculty and what subjects they'll teach, and then you can scroll down, you can able to check this completely. Okay, so automatically you will be able to find that faculty details, and after that you can able to check this clearly information, and you can able to go to registration. So there is a registration process, is the registration. The moment when you hit registration, then you can see this, what is happening here. Name, phone number, mail ID. You have to select the current status and all these details. You have to fill this. After that, you have to hit the submit button. This details will go to Durgasoft team. They'll contact you. So this is called action page. So interaction page, user interaction page is nothing but dynamic page. So dynamic means whatever we enter the details, that will go to concerned team and they'll interact you regarding that course, whatever you registered. So the content is submitted from you to the Durgasoft team. So that is dynamic. Dynamic means action we are performing. So non-interaction pages are called static pages. Non-interaction pages are called static pages. User interaction pages are called dynamic pages. User interaction pages are called dynamic pages. Non-interaction pages and user interaction pages is called dynamic page. Static web page means non-interaction pages. Dynamic web page means user interaction pages. This is okay. These two pages we are going to develop using Django framework with UI technologies HTML. So web page is like this on. But what about website? Website means simple. So in every website, we are going to see multiple web pages, not only even single page, you know. So web page is a collection of website is a collection of web pages or group of web pages. So multiple web pages, we are going to communicate within the same website. We are moving from home page to registration page to login page to some other page, like that we can redirect. That is website. Website is a group of web pages and collection of web pages. And if you want to open any web page or website, you must and should have that software called web browser. What is that? Web browser. So what is web browser? So web browser means what? Web browser is a software. Web browser is a software which is used to manage the different types of web pages, which is used to manage the different types of web pages. Yes, we can manage different types of web pages. So without web browser, can we manage that web pages, or can we open any web page? No. So browsers means like software, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer. These are all web browser software. It is software which is used to manage the different types of web pages. And what is web server? As I said that in the last session, Django is completely based on client server architecture. Client server architecture means what? As a client, we need to send request to the server, and server should receive the client request, and it should be processed, and server need to give response to the client only. So for giving this response from the all the client request, so who is required? Web server is required. So what is web server in our Django web application means? We can say Django web development server is there. When we install Django framework, automatically server is integrated. That is Django server only. So web server is also a software. Web server is also a software which is used to manage the different types of, which is used to manage different types of websites. Yes, we can manage different types of websites only, not web pages, different types of website. Web server is a software which is used to manage the different types of websites only, sir. Yes, we can manage different types of websites. Every site, it will be managed. Server will take the request from that particular site, and that site request will be processed, and it will give the response to the client from where it is sending request. So this is completely technical terms. So you must understand. And what are the web servers are exister other than our Django web development server? We are working with the Django framework, so we are saying that Django web development server is there. But other servers, example, Apache Tomcat, most of the cases Java programmers they'll use as a server. IIS, Internet Information Service, most of the .NET programmers use IIS server. And depends on their possibility, they'll use any server integrated with that. So server is compulsory required in every web development process. So all web application development frameworks are built on client server architecture based only. Client must be there, server must be there. And it is going to be depend on completely request and response process only here. So this is about complete web page, website, web browser, web server, all this information here. Okay. So yes, remote and desktop servers are also same. Remote server is nothing but what you know. The server is located in different area. Suppose if your website launch in the Hyderabad location, for example, you are communicating with the server is available in somewhere like this. For example, you're opening Facebook or Instagram or something. Do you think server is present with you in your location? No, server is somewhere, some country. Okay, they are going to be managed from there only, complete data. That is remote server. And desktop server in the sense which is available in our computer only. Right now we are doing development on Django application. Okay, that is desktop server only we are using because we have installed that framework and server within our mission, and that can be managed from our location only. It's not going to be somewhere like that. Remote area means completely other location. Server is somewhere and client is somewhere. And within the same location means what? Actually both are present in the same mission only. That is local server. We are going to be manage local host only, local host. You can observe here the moment whenever I try to install the Django software. After that, whenever we run the first time Django application, you will be able to see that the local host web address 127.0.0.1:8000 port number. Our local host also you can say that. That is local server, not a remote server. So these are the technical terms: web page, website, web browser, and web server like this. Okay. And now coming to this. So here in the web application development, every web application contains two main components. Every web application contains two main components actually here. Okay. Please mute your audio, Yashodanand. If you have any doubt, please chat me. You are unmuting every time. So I'll tell you what is the URL. Okay. So you're asking in upcoming sessions questions. Okay, uniform resource locator, that URL address is completely address of the website. From if you want to communicate with that particular website, you have to visit through URL address only. Okay, in Django, URL patterns are there, project level URLs, application level URLs. Whenever I start development of Django project, you will come to know all these URL settings and all. Okay, yeah. So now coming to this, every web application, excuse me, every web application contains two main components here. First one is front end. Every web application contains two components here. First one is front end. Yes, front end. And next one is back end. Back end. These two are mains are actually. First, we'll talk about front end. Front end means what? It represents what user is going to see on the website. Front end is going to represent what user is going to see on the website. The moment when users start to interact with website, then front end only will make us to display what actually content, home page or first page of the website. Front end represent what user is seeing on the website. We can develop front end content by using front end technologies. We can develop front end content by using what technologies? Front end technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and then Bootstrap. This is front end technology. Front end content we can develop using front end technologies only. And here jQuery and Bootstrap are advanced UI technologies which are designed and developed by using HTML, CSS, JavaScript only. How jQuery, Bootstrap designed by using HTML, CSS, JavaScript only. Okay, these are the advanced UI technologies. And hyperlink text markup language, hypertext markup language, sorry. HTML stands for hypertext markup language. You know, in every web application, okay, HTML is the integral part. Compulsory HTML code will be there. HTML is the mandatory technology for web development, and it represents structure of the web page completely. So actual structure of the web page, who will represent means HTML will represent, sir. HTML is nothing but hypertext markup language. Every web application should contain HTML. That is, HTML is the mandatory technology for web development, and it represents structure of the web page. And CSS means cascading style sheet. So normally, whenever we go for HTML, so we are going to design the web page normal format, plain text format, or look and feel is normal. It's not like any styling or something. You want to make your web page more look and feel stylish operations, then we can apply CSS, cascading style sheet. It is optional technology. It's not compulsory. So still every application contains the CSS also. The main objective of CSS is what? Adding styles to the HTML pages like colors and fonts and borders and background image. Like the CSS we can able to assign. And without HTML, no CSS, because on the HTML elements only we are going to apply CSS rules only. How your web page look and feel for the end users, then we can make with CSS rules only style sheet, cascading style sheet it is. And finally, JavaScript, it is the most popular language nowadays. JavaScript mainly used in web development process, validation point of view. It allows some adding interactivity to the web application, including programming logic. The main objective of JavaScript is to add the functionality to the HTML pages. Means using JavaScript plus HTML, we can make dynamic content. Dynamic means action methods. Action we can prepare by using JavaScript as well as HTML. Both combination we can make dynamic content. Only HTML static content we can prepare. Like about us, okay, contact us, like HTML and JavaScript. What we can make dynamic means registration form, login form, actions with validations, everything. But most of the cases, JavaScript is recommended to use for making validation of end user inputs. Suppose if you are entering some password or phone number must be 10 digits only. It should not be more than 10 digits and less than 10 digits. In that case, what validation? JavaScript through we can able to perform validation. But nowadays, JavaScript also not using for validation because advanced things are available. It is integrated with all the frameworks only, web application development frameworks only. Built-in validators are there. That also we can use it. In case built-in validators, you are not satisfying with built-in validators, you can prepare your own validations by using JavaScript functionality. So JavaScript is a programming language, and this JavaScript can be used to make dynamic HTML content, means actions we can perform by using HTML. And to add dynamic nature to the HTML pages, we use JavaScript only. HTML only means static responses. HTML plus JavaScript means dynamic responses. And for example, if you want to display any message, hello Durgasoft or something, welcome to Durgasoft message, okay, then HTML is required because one simple H1 tag is required. H1 is required. I can say that hello Durgasoft like this. H1 means heading section. H1 tag will be closed. But if you want to display current system date and time, but only HTML is not enough because it has to retrieve the dynamic response from your current system date and time. Right now in your computer, what is the current system date and time? It has to retrieve and it will load and bind to the HTML H1 tag only. That is JavaScript. We can do this. Okay. Yes. Now these are the completely front-end technologies. So front-end means UI. UI technologies means here HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. So after completion of demo sessions of Django, after completion of making setup of Django, we are going to focus 1 week of sessions in front-end technologies only, HTML, basic, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. This content also I included in my PDF. Once your enrollment process is over, then I can share, I can start share my complete PDF documentation. There you can find a lot of stuff in HTML. We will discuss that upcoming session. Once we complete this making Django setup and installation process step by step, we'll go for HTML basics later. These are all front-end related things only. Now coming to this other component is their back-end component. Back-end. So back-end means what? It is a back-end is used to decide what to show the end user on the front end application. Who will decide which content is going to be shown to the end user on the front end? Means backend will decide. Backend is responsible to generate required response to the end user request. If end user is sending request, and backend is going to take responsible to generate required response only, which is going to displayed by the front end. So backend again is having 3 important components. What are the 3 important components backend is having? Means first component is the language. Yes, sir, the language. So tell me what languages we are using in our Django web application development in the behind the scenes coding part. Python language, obviously. Okay, the language, Python language. And next for backend development purpose, what framework we are using? Framework is required or not? Yes, that is framework. We are using a lot of framework. Total 3 framework: Django, REST, and Flask. But right now for web application development, we are using Django. So that's what Django framework we are using. These are all under comes into backend. Third one, the database. Yes, we are using the databases also. We are going to be develop web applications. In every web application development, we need to retrieve the inputs from the client, and that client inputs we have to validate it, whether it is valid entries or not. After checking validation, that valid data we need to keep into database storage. So that is database like MySQL or SQLite 3. These databases I'm going to use it. So backend things are these 3 main components, backend components. So the language is must Python, the framework Django, and the databases MySQL or SQLite. Even Oracle and other databases also you can use it. So for the backend language, Python is the best language because you know about already Python. Python is simple and easy to learn. And whenever the moment when we install Python software in our computer, there are a lot of libraries will be there, and automatically built-in libraries are there that are ready-made resources. We can say directly we can able to use it. And then using Python script, we can write concise code, means shorthand way of writing code is possible. Okay, it is simple and straightforward syntaxes are there. That's what we preferred the Python language with combination of Django framework. And for the framework, Django is also best for in Python web development because it is completely fast and secure and scalable. And Django is the most popular web application framework for especially Python related. Django provides inbuilt database, which is nothing but SQLite 3. The moment when we create any Django web application project, automatically the behind the scenes, when we go for settings.py file, their SQLite 3 configuration is already done. So you can configure in case if you are using any other database like MySQL or Oracle, you can configure manually. From then onwards, it will be communicating with that respective database only. It doesn't mean that we need to interact with always SQLite 3. We can also communicate with other databases also, not a problem. Okay, yes. See, for your kind information, yeah, Java is different, JavaScript is different. Okay, so completely different. There is no relation between JavaScript and Java. So in JavaScript, the term Java is there just because of you need to learn Java. No. Okay, that is Java is completely programming language, and JavaScript also programming language. Initially, it was scripting language only, but that just exciting being generated from the Java at that time, JavaScript people. So they have changed the name called JavaScript. Originally, the name of JavaScript is LiveScript only, but they were changed the name at the time of popularity of Java language. So they are for making excitement. Okay, that's what they have added Java for their scripting language. So that's what they call it as JavaScript. Otherwise, there is no relation between Java and JavaScript. Okay, that's what. JavaScript is completely, even Java programming language also, they'll use JavaScript for making validations and what we can say small functionality we can able to do with web application development with JSP servlets. Java people also use JavaScript. Every web application development, JavaScript is involved. Without JavaScript, you can't imagine any website, undoubtedly. Okay. But one thing I can say, Java is different, JavaScript is different. It's not the same. Because of just Java, there is no relation with Java. Okay, Java is vast. Now, Django framework is best framework in our case. So to develop web application with Python. And the database is inbuilt database is integrated, that is SQLite 3, but we can also use in our Django web development MySQL server also. MySQL is the database. We can also communicate with MySQL. All the things we need to do in the settings.py, instead of SQLite 3, we have to do MySQL settings on manually. Okay, we can communicate with MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle, any database, not a problem. And then Django is the most popular because various popular web applications which are developed by using Python and Django. What are the various popular web applications developed by using Python? Still, they are using Django with Python, especially you know that YouTube. YouTube people rapidly use Python script with Django framework. And then Dropbox. These are the popular web applications. Okay, Quora. You know that all this Quora. This is also. Is Django front end limited to JS, or we can use advanced like TypeScript? No. Anyone you can use TypeScript, React JS, Node.js, everything we can integrate it. Not a problem. We can enhance that. But in case in the development process, if it is required, but actually we will manage everything will be Django framework itself only. No other frameworks are required and inject into this one, because Django itself, it will provide a lot of stuff. In case if you are not satisfied with that stuff, you can include that. So these are the popular web applications which are developed by using Python and Django. That is YouTube, okay, Dropbox, and then Quora, and then Instagram. You know very well Instagram. And then what we can say, Mozilla, initially it was PHP or based. Now they are migrating to Django based. Now they are maintaining Mozilla Firefox browser with Django with all these things. Not required. Linux administration skills not required for learning this Django and all. Okay, if you are personally interested, you can learn it. Otherwise, not required. So now you can see Spotify. These are the popular website which are web applications, and National Geographic. And many more. So many more popular web applications are still maintained by using Django and Python. Okay. If they're asking, then you can start learning, not a problem. It's based on requirement. Okay. So but we are not going to cover Linux administrative things because for that we have other trainers, so you can contact them. But we are not going, we are completely focused on Python full stack subjects. So these are the popular websites which are developed by using Python and Django. So this is completely basic introduction, front end and back end application, and what is web page, website, and all here. So I'm going to discuss again basic and important features of Django. What are the main features of Django is there? Then onwards we'll start with the installation process. So what are the features, main features? Features of Django. So these are simple, sir. Features of Django. First feature is rapid application development. Yes, rapid development. Meaning is what? Django was designed with the intention to make a framework which takes less time to build web application. Yes, the intention behind the Django is what, to make web application development with less time only. Less time in the sense, no much more time is required. Within the quick span of time, we can develop web applications, especially using Django as well as Python combination, because Python and Django both provides built-in libraries the moment when we install them. So that libraries are ready-made resources readily available, and you can ready to use it actually here. Okay. So that is rapid application development feature. And secure. What about secured? Yes. Django takes security and helps to developers to avoid many common security mistakes. What are that? Suppose SQL injection attacks are there, cross-site scripting or cross-site request forgery, CSRF tokens we have included. So whenever we start development of Django applications, every time whenever we are going to post the data onto the server, compulsory we have to send the data with securely by by adding CSRF tokens. CSRF tokens means cross-site request forgery tokens. So cross-site request forgery token means, so whenever we are going to send the data, there is a less chances to forgery your request or to divert your request. Okay. And Django is having strongly authentication system is there. In Django, they'll provide strong authentication system, and you can manage user accounts and passwords easily. And security implementation is possible with authentication system is there. Authorization system, authentication system built in available with the Django. So Django web development process is completely secured based. And then other feature is scalable. Yes, scalable. So Django is scalable in nature, and it is having the ability to quickly and flexibly switch from one small application to large scale application project also. That is called scalable. We can able to migrate it from one application to another application, and we can switch to other applications easily. That is scalable in nature by default in Django. Then next another feature is fully loaded. Fully loaded means what? This is fully loaded, sir. Fully loaded. Fully loaded. Fully loaded means it's a built-in libraries. Automatically, it's completely loaded with all libraries. Django includes various helping modules and libraries which can be used to handle common web application development tasks in reality. And also Django takes care of authentication and content management system, site mapping system, everything in admin panel integrated that can be managed. So ultimately, it's come with fully loaded features, fully loaded libraries. No need to design your module and library from scratch with your own code, directly it will directly it will be fully loaded feature only. It will come directly how to use it. And then coming to this fifth one is versatile. Yes, Django is completely versatile. Versatile. Versatile means versatile in nature. It's different. Django is versatile in nature, which allows to build application in different domains. Nowadays, companies are using Django to build various types of applications like content management, social networking sites, and scientific computing platforms, and business needs applications. So many shopping cart applications. This type of applications we can build using Django. Not only same category of application, different domains of application. And as I said, the Django framework is completely open source and Python based framework, open source it is. So Django is open source web application framework. Okay, it is publicly available without any license, without any cost. It can be downloaded with source code from the public repository, and open source reduces the total cost of the development project. As I said, that official website of Django is djangoproject.com. You can visit that. And final one is vast and support community. Huge community is there. Vast and supported community here. Supported community is there in Django. Django is one of the most popular web framework nowadays. It is having widely supportive community and channels to share your content, to get that content from them. You can communicate with each other. So these are the basic features, and these are the popular web applications which we are going to use Django with Python and front end, back end. And this is completely story of Django. This is completely theoretical part, and we are not going to spend much more time on theoretical part. It's ready to make setup of Django now. Okay, so for making setup of Django, what is required first? So to install and to make setup of Django, first we need to check whether Python is there or not. If Python is not there, then you have to be install it compulsory, sir. So let me check whether Python is there or not in my computer. So let's simply go to command prompt and simply type Python space hyphen version. We can type it. Now you can see we got the version of Python 3.11.1 only. This is the latest version. In case if you don't have Python software, you just try to install it. You know how to install it, Python software. So simply go to Google and type download Python simply. Download Python. Once we click on download Python in the Google search, download Python, python.org is there. The moment when we click on this is the latest version of Python 3.11.2. You just click on this link, automatically Python software will be downloaded. After Python software downloaded, then we have to install it. Okay, but how to install? Simple step. Already we have shown in my Python sessions, but still those who don't know how to install Python, so you just watch my Python demo videos in our YouTube channel. So I have explained clearly here. But you are the Django student means already you know about the Python. You have to download it. Okay, install it. So after that you can check this. And most important thing is while installation of Python, most of the students will forget to activate virtual environment checkbox. That is very important. So because of that deactivation only, so your Django application may not run properly. So that's what I can do here. I'm going to show you again installation process of Python step by step so that it will be clear for you. So first of all, let me uninstall Python from my computer. No problem. I'll uninstall it. Again, I'll reinstall it. So you will get more clarity how to install it clearly. Which activation of checkbox is required, I'll tell you. Right now, I'm trying to uninstall Python software from my computer, sir. Let it be. Within 2 minutes, it will be over. But it's very important. Python is important. Most of the students, they will not create what we can say path variable. So because of that path setting missing, when they try to create Django application, that will not run server properly because of they're having the issue with Python only. So that's what that issue should not repeat. So that's what I'm trying to uninstall Python software from my computer from the beginning, step by step I'm showing. So you can follow same thing only. Even these steps already included in my Django framework PDF. Once you receive that, you will find that PDF also step by step I have clearly mentioned. Just a moment. So it is taking time to install, uninstall. Now you can see uninstall was successfully done. Then you can try to uninstall Python launcher also. Say yes. Right now in my computer, there is no Python software, sir. Let me check again. Now you can see here. Let's close this. Now here, controllers. Now coming to this, let's go to command prompt now. So here I'm trying to check Python version again, Python space hyphen version. Do you have any version of Python? No. Look at this, Python was not found. If you don't have Python in your computer, you will get like this, Python was not found. Okay, fine. Right now, Python is not there. Let me install it, Python. So how to install? Just simply, you can see this. Go to Python org, click on this. And this is the latest one, download Python 3.11.2. And immediately you will be able to get .exe file and close this and go to downloadable folder. So just go to download folder. It's a simple settings. Now go to downloads folder and now you can see double click on 3.11.2 only. This is executable file. The moment when we double click on it, you will be able to get this window. And in this window, most of the students will do mistake. They will not activate this checkbox and they'll try to make installation. Install now only. If we don't activate this checkbox, add python.exe to path and click on install now, there is a problem with Django communication missing with the operating system. Server will not respond. So I recommend to activate this checkbox, add python.exe to path and click on install now. This is mandatory. Note this point. This checkbox is activation is mandatory. Install now. Say S means it will be installed now. That's all. So you are ready with Python latest version, no problem. And after that Python installation successfully only, you need to proceed the Django make setup only, sir. First thing we have to check this one only. Okay, don't directly go for Django setup process. You have to check in your computer first Python is there or not, exist or not. If it is exist, then you can proceed. Otherwise, first try to make Python installation process successfully. After that, you just follow the steps to install Django. Okay. Now setup progress. It is installing now. Now close. After that setup successfully done. Once you setup successfully done, you just close it and recheck the version again in command prompt. And let's go to Python space hyphen version. This is actually Python 3.11.2 is there here. So this is the latest version of Python is available. So then I can start installation of Django software, not a problem. But installation of Django is how? What is the procedure? There is a big procedure. Okay. So this procedure I strongly recommend. So first we have to check PAP version, Python version, virtual environment version, Django version, and everything. And after that, you have to install Django. And in that installation of Django, you have to create your Django project. In that project, you have to create application. This is big process, step by step you have to follow. But that I will discuss in tomorrow's session clearly, step by step, because it will not finish within 10 minutes of time. So I can start Django steps. Okay, how to install virtual environment and how to create a folder separately, how to move to that folder and how to activate virtual environment, how to install Django in that virtual environment, how to create projects step by step with command prompt through, I will tell you. And instead of following this all command prompt through, you can also follow directly by using PyCharm Professional Editor. Okay, that also possible. Both I will show you. But simple one last command I will tell you. In your computer right now, Python related and Python framework related, any software, what softwares are there? Do you want to check? Simple command is there. pip-freeze command is there. The moment when I hit this pip-freeze command, you can see this. This is the command, important command. You can note this. You will come to know automatically in your computer Python, Django, REST, Flask related all frameworks and libraries, whatever we install, which version is right now available, you will come to know completely. Complete versions. Okay, only single command, pip freeze. This command through we can able to get this all the information which is available in your computer, what versions are there, and all these things. Virtual environment version is 2.0.16.7. Jinja 2 version is 3.1.2. It's a Jinja 2 is a template language which can be used in Flask. Okay, and Matplotlib version is like this visualization. Django version is 4.1.3 like this. Django REST framework version is 3.14 is there. Flask version is 2.2. All versions will be available. This is exactly. Yes, PIP recognized as an internal external command means there is a problem in your system. So I think it is not going to be installed properly. Okay, you have not installed in the current environment. So let's retry it. Okay, so retry it again. You just try to that. PIP space freeze. You have to go to complete location in the C drive location, OS operating system location. You have to hit this. So this is about today's session with basic important points which I covered. Completely theoretical, but tomorrow onwards we will make a setup of Django, and completely practical orientation session will begin from tomorrow after installation of Django only. So tomorrow's session is very important because you will come to know step-by-step installation process, how to make Django setup and how to run Django server. Then it will be easy to manage further sessions.
If I'm not wrong, I have installed PIP on the Python.
Okay.
So why I'm getting this?
We have to check. Some issues will be there, so we have to check that. I'll let you know that in our group.
Okay.
So still we have 2 demos maximum. You just no nothing. You can uninstall and install it. Nothing will be lost. Then automatically when we open the project, automatically that Python interpreter will add it. No existing project will disturb. Okay, but just to update your Python interpreter, it will ask. Then you have to update it. That's what I uninstall. No? Yeah.
So shall I uninstall and install again Python?
Yeah, you can try it. Maybe it will work. So that's all for now today. So see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is important session. Step-by-step procedure is there. Installation process, how to make setup of Django, how to run Django server, and how to work with model view templates. Everything we will discuss in detail. From tomorrow onwards, practical session will begin. That's all from today. Have a nice time.
Thank you. Model view.